Welcome all, as all are welcome. Welcome back down to the basement. It's as bright as ever down here. I got my shades on. It's because we switched to these new studio lights. We're going to talk about what works, what doesn't work, the good, the bad, and the Simhub here at www.simgear.club. Let's go, V. Right after it, then. Starting off with our first product that worked. And we found this on Simhub update 9.2.5 or 6, I think, is when this stuff became available. It works with a couple of different lighting systems. I believe you can do hue, you can do regular Bluetooth lights. There's also an Adafruit system, for building custom. But, I'm kind of a plug and play dude and I like easy stuff. So I found the cheapest possible thing on the compatibility list and I bought it. And that's the Govee RGB. WW stands for warm white. And these are part number, I believe, H6056. And you can get them on Amazon for I think anywhere from $34 at the lowest point. I saw them recently in March to $49. So it's about the same price as an iFlag. But here's the thing. Through Simhub, there's two ways to control these products. And all these products on the table here work with Simhub. I've tested and it worked and it's great. And I'll tell you what works best and what doesn't towards the end here. But on that thought, the two-part effects that you get with the Govee products, you can do game capture. So you can set it up so your room or your studio does lighting based on what's on your screen. And then you can also do flag effects and telemetry effects too, based on how intricate you are at programming those types of things in Simhub. I kind of, cheated a little bit and I can tell you what I did too later on when I show you the Simhub setup stuff, but we'll concentrate on these right now. So best working, cheapest product here. It comes in a two-part system. There's two bars. You got a left and a right or a top and a bottom, however you want to configure it. It's mostly plug and play. Set it up on the app, Alexa controllable, so on and so forth. Music controlled. Tons of lighting options as far as color. There's also scenes, even right down to the Dune stuff. And I think you can put these in Dream View and so on and so forth. I can talk about that later too, and for hours, but I'm not gonna. So these I have on my rig for my monitor stand. And I have a pair on the top of the monitor stand, and I have a pair towards the bottom of the monitor stand. I have game capture mostly on these, and then also I tagged them in the top and the bottom, the very top and the bottom of the bars on the rig to do flag effects. These here, I mainly use for a static studio lighting, but they do work very well in the game capture mode and flag effects too. You can see some of my teaser videos to see how that works. So anyway, these are very compatible with all types of other home features, like smart home features like Alexa and Google too. Use them all the time. It's great. This one on the bottom here, and this was the second product that I bought because once I found this worked and was awesome, I made it a mission to change every light in my studio to this so I can control it through one app. And I'll tell you why that's good and bad too later as well. So this is our second or third product that we bought. I bought this thinking I would use it as, kind of an upgraded version of that first one. Here's the thing. These newer ones are different and they don't work as well. And I'll tell you why, and I'll show you on this picture. When you're doing flag effects and you have this in your system, it will represent one of these lights at the top and at the bottom as a segment, because that's one of the bad things with Govee in Simhub. It's only allowed a certain number of segments, and you can't control it per light in Simhub. And some lights, I think you can control per light. You just can't do that with Govee. The way they have them set up and are programmed, they work in segments. Like this product here is 6 segments, so you have 3 and 3. And I found that works a lot better than this one, I believe, which has 10 segments. So that middle segment, or one of the middle segments, I forget how many it has. I'll probably go over it again when I do the setup. It just kind of represents the middle here. So maybe it would be good if you put them together on your rig as a long bar. But what I've done is I've been able to minimize their capture effect to not capture anything at all. And I've got them on the floor and they work as a good flag effect light. So that's what that one's for. So static studio lights, flag effects, game capture, and that's how I like to use them. So let's go ahead and I'll take a look around the room here, and I'll show you where and how I have them mounted on my setup. Well, I talked about bad with Govee, and I can't reference something like that and not actually go a little more into detail about it. So Govee is mainly existing on Amazon, and they have some of their own storefront and an app as well. 3 different places that you can purchase things, and all use a similar marketing strategy and similar screenshots, imagery, and it's got the same pitch basically for every product in some way, shape, or form, just modified a little bit. And this is bad. And this is a bad way to do business. And then they have all types of impulse flash sale things going on all the time. So, you're going to buy things that are packaged together like this and this, which sort of work together. But yeah, it's subjective, I guess, whether it's working together well or not. Some of the other ceilings that I ran into is what I'm going to call it, because I'm sure that this is a thing that they run into every now and again. And I believe that their strategy with the way they sell things and so on and so forth is kind of geared toward maybe buying 1 or 2 things. And so maybe they don't run into a lot, but I bought 24 products expecting that I was going to be able to get them all to work in some way, shape, or form together, and you can't. You can get 5 at a time for music. You can get 7 at a time for a dream view watching TV with one of these products as a control. So basically subtract 1 for control. So it's 4 plus the control device for music, 6 plus the control device for dream view. And then so a lot of these other ones are, basically just Alexa only, or you can try and add whatever you can. Like, for example, our movie room, I, put 7 of this style of light in there basically, and I got to remove 1 in order to make this work, or I got to subtract that or subtract this, because it's kind of, a weird system that they have going on here. But, like I said, being able to turn stuff off, being able to timer stuff, these are all positive, and I like these parts of the system. A lot of that other stuff, the implication that you're going to be able to have this amazing, poolside environment with, what appears to be, 20 or more lighting effects in just one room, because like I have that many, maybe I think, in just one room, and then thinking they're going to work is pretty much false advertising if you ask me. But hey, it's cheap. It does most of what you want. And probably by the time you figure it out, your warranty/return policy has expired. So have fun with it for what it is. It's just more gimmicks and fun stuff. Here we are behind the super monitor stand, and we're going to talk about first the H6056, which is this product right here. And then we also have the M1 strip in the frame here, and I'm going to point to them and talk about how they're hooked up and stuff like that. So the bar uses a small control box. Can't really see it. It's about the size of the palm of your hand. It has a microphone on it, so it will work with the sound effects and stuff like that if you want, just based on the microphone. Or there's a Razer Chroma. I think you can activate it sound-wise through that. And there's probably a few other ways, but we're not really worried about that. We use headphones, and the main thing that we're concerned with is the game capture. That's why we put the H6056 on the back of the monitor here. So it will just enhance the monitor's light field and then it will kind of like spread it out past the monitor, and it really gives a good immersion effect. So like when the rain first dropped, for example, in iRacing, when we were doing Sebring practices and it was very, very wet. So like when the spray would hit, it would go nice white gray, and then as soon as you got back up behind a car and the rain light was on, it would turn red and start flashing at you when you're coming out of the final corner and you got to go get up close to the wall and it's blue white. It really starts to flash. It's a very clinching moment. The M1 bar or M1 strip I have up in the top. I've also had those in capture. I kind of took them out and put them back in a couple of times, and I'll talk about that and set up more. I have recommendations for that if you're doing these. The way I have them set up, I have a big strip in front of my monitors, and then I have a big strip behind me. I have a total of 40 feet in total with the strip and the extension. So what I would do with that is I would group everything together, and I would probably put, the front strip in the front window, and then I would put the remainder of the rear strip, and I would break it up into the actual rear view mirrors for that particular setup if you could. Like I said, I have triple monitors, so it's a pretty immersive experience anyway, but doing this is basically like turning your basement or your sim room into a giant VR helmet, and like I strongly recommend it for immersion over any of that other stuff that I've seen out there for immersion or the augmented reality green screen stuff. It just brings you into the game 100%. And even for PlayStation 2, the way we have it set up, we'll go over that too. But let's go ahead and talk about the final setup that we use in Simhub. Right, so just like a familiar, more popular streamer than myself has been saying recently, sometimes less is more. This is the 6047 light bar. It's the newer light bar. It's got the sound controller and more advanced box here with more features. It's got low end bass rhythm recognition in the control box and in the app features. However, like I said, it's configured a little differently. And when you're doing game capture and stuff like that, or you're trying to do more flag effects and game capture, it kind of presents wonky with this bottom segment and the top segment as one, because it's 10 segments. So there's like, three, and then, three more and three more and so on. So it just doesn't work as well. Or I think it's like, yeah, so it's 10. So it's five and five. So one segment of two presents on each bar. So that's kind of how this one plays out. So like I said, I've got a method to turn it to no capture and just use flag effects, and that's what I've done. So that way I do flag effects on this. You can see it in the stream and stuff like that. Usually is pretty cool, and it's a nice added feature for that. So now that we've covered all the Simhub and sim racing stuff that I've got going on here, let's go ahead and do some setup.
Right on, sitting here in our rig now, and we're gonna do a quick setup of one of these devices. I've got one device that's already set up. I'll put a screenshot on the screen. There are some absolutes you have to be able to understand before you start trying to apply this to your setup. So the first thing you got to know how to do is got to know how to use the Govee app. You got to go through those processes, and you got to set it up to your you know app device. You've got to update the device to the latest firmware, and then you have to go in the settings of the device once you've hooked it up to your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth app device and so on and so forth, and updated it. And in the settings, there's going to be a LAN switch and or API key that you're going to have to enter in whatever software that you're going to do this on. Because like I said, you can do this with Razer Chroma too, and I'm sure there's some other things that you can apply these products to with one or more apps to get what you want achieved in a short order. So anyway, for this application, like I said, Govee app first, get your device set up, get it on your local area network so you can control it. Turn your local area network switch on in the device, and then go to our screen that we have here, which is something you'll also have to do. Go into your features for Simhub and activate the ambient lights, right? So once you've enabled that, you'll get this screen up and it'll show you the Bluetooth Hue Govee light setup. So you'll go to add a new device. You'll select whichever device that you're trying to do. Like I said, we're doing Govee here. So Govee is going to start looking for strips, RGB IC, and so on and so forth devices that it's compatible with. We're going to be doing the 6047 bars. Boom, and that's it. It's that simple. It's in the device now, and you're ready to go. So what it does here is it makes a capture panel right off the bat. And you can see down on the floor there, you see my HBI 4C lighting up. We don't want it to capture, so I'll show you how to turn the capture off and use it for just a flag effect. Because now that you've seen that, we've got it set up for capture. We'll go ahead and turn this on. Device settings. We're going to group all these together. Device area group, we're going to go group 1. And now we're going to turn all these to group 1 because we don't want to use it as a capture and we don't want to mess with it as 10 individual items. So this will help us move them faster when you want to move them around. Say if you are doing a capture and you want to move the capture around, you can move it as one group instead of individual panels. This is a helpful tip to get you going faster. As you can see here, there's 10 panels for this thing, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So one more, boom. And then once we do that, we're going to change one and then replicate area size to all devices areas. So we're going to do this one. We're going to change the size. We'll just do one like this. And then we're going to replicate all sizes and areas. You see how there it changed the size to 1? And now we want to move them all because it's one group. See how they're all moving around because they're one group? And then I'm going to show you how to entirely make it disappear. So you can see here, I'm making it to the smallest possible panel I can, and I'm moving it all the way to the bottom here where the black bar is. So now it's totally out of there, and it won't work for game capture anymore. I have actually a bar right here that you can see that is set up for game capture. My bad camera angles here. You can actually look at it here. You see, this is actually the bottom bar, and I'll show you where it represents on the screen. This is the bottom right bar, so it's these ones right here. So this is the top of the bar would be the middle of the window, side window. This is the middle of the bar. This would be the middle of the center window. And this is the bottom of the bar, which would be the bottom of the window. And that's how I decided to set these up. So you can see here now we've got all these grouped together. We've got them out of the way. They're no longer in the capture anymore. And let me show you what the capture looks like here. So here's the capture, and this is what it looks like. This is actually 925 was the first time that these lights were available to operate, and then 926 they added multi-monitor support, which is really cool. So you can set one monitor, a specific monitor, or multi-monitor. So if you're doing triples like I am, you can do some monitors in the side windows and the mirrors and so on and so forth, like I had described. You could do with the M1 strips. So like if you're doing these M1 strips, especially the way I have them configured, like up in the top of the room and stuff like that, in the ceiling, front and behind, as you can see, I'm stripping out. One set in a group into the rear view mirror, you know what I mean, for the rear, and then one set or broken up into the side view mirrors and the rear view mirror for the back, and then the front mirror. You'll have to play with it and kind of configure it the way you like it, because there, like I said, there's different ways to do it, and if you want to be slick and stuff like that, you gotta do it a couple of different ways for yourself. Do you know what I mean? To see if you really like it in the first place. That's why I recommend just buy the 34 to $40 to $50 one, whatever they're charging for now on Amazon, and then try it that way. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. It's really easy to hook up. Like I said, it's just a matter of, oh, let me do the flag effects. We didn't do that yet. Color effects. So like if you wanted to do color effects, I already have it programmed. I achieved the color effects programming. I kind of cut and pasted some things from my steering wheel, which I've got this grid engineering steering wheel. There's a lot of software engineers that like this product, and they've written a lot of code for it, and I just kind of took some. I'm sure you could go into the discords for either, Simhub or Grid and find some of these things. In our Discord, I posted the flag profile, so you can download it there too. But I don't want to like do everything for you because like it's really just kind of like one of those things that you got to try and play with and take a look at and get a feel for yourself. Let me open a file here and I'll show you the test editor. That's our yellow flag effect, blue flag effect. You can see it coming up on the bar here. I only have it on the bottom part of the bar and the top part of the upper bar. You can probably see it on the monitor stand there. We also have black flag. We have to use purple because there is no black. And then, we do white flag. And we also do green flag. So that's it. Like I said, I don't want to show you everything, but I hope I showed you enough that, will give you the confidence to go and try and take on this project for yourself. I did the whole house. I got like 20 some odd items in here, each room of the house. It's like, poltergeist in here, maybe like Beetlejuice. But here's the capture layout that I have now. I know I posted a picture of earlier segments in the video. This is what it looks like now with all the bars here. I've got side window here if you would imagine a Porsche GTP or any of your cars. So we've got lower bar positions here on the right and the left, and then we have the upper bar positions up here on the right and the left. So that's how that stuff looks when it flashes here, and boom. It's that easy. It literally is that easy. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of reading, making sure that you check the list of compatible products. And because if you don't check the list of compatible products and you buy something that's not, like you're really gonna, be bumming out. And like I said, I bought a bunch of stuff thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it all work because I'm the best. That's not how this works. A lot of it has to do with how old the device is and what type of chip it has in it as far as communication. There's internet controlled chips. That's what I think the IC stands for. There's Bluetooth only things and so on and so forth in their product line. Like I said, over on the other streaming rig that I have a whole different setup that I'm going to be doing, and it's a much different video. It's a kind of a workaround video for some of their products because they do an AI gaming device, which I think you plug your, console device into, and then it replicates the room. I'm a streamer, so I got a PC hooked up over there. I don't need any of that stuff. Basically their AI box is a PC that, takes your game capture, and I can show you that too later on. But this is just for the Simhub and iRacing and whatever you're doing on, your big dog stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative. There's a lot of stuff to cover. I'm sure I messed it all up, but you could go ahead and post any kind of questions in there, and I'll do my best to help you out, and we'll go from there. Peace.